From my beginning, God cast His light of love as me. My soul longs to be in love with God as all of you. Hear me say, my heart is open. I see and feel God's love as you. From your beginning, God's Christ in heart in love spoke you. Oh, now we all have come, souls from the ethers, our body temples made to celebrate God's love. From the beginning, God's plan to help us love as He created angels to serve, to light the hearts of those of all God's children made, souls from the ether.
This is Angel Message 10, given on October 4th, 2012. This can be considered the positive version of the October surprise. Because Jesus is with me tonight. And this message is a summary of everything that's in the books, music, other angel messages. This is like a climax angel message that puts all of the pieces of the puzzle together. And why the angels are here to help us through these times. And why they are allowing us to know these things. Where do I start? Jesus. Oh man. This is like a timetable of events that are prophesied in the book of Revelation, Daniel, John, the New Testament, and the book of Daniel. And you'll find references to a lot of the characters that are playing parts on an etheric level in the book of Enoch, who is Hermes' Thoth. Anyway, this timetable has to do with the dragon-esque harvest of humans and irradiated precious metals that serve the ANUNNAKI reptilian humanoid predatory race, who can be considered this star system's negative principality. they are ingenious at using the human population as a slave race. In this particular situation, and the last time they were allowed to harvest out of the garden, the system known as Babylon the Great, invented and made up and designed by, let me say it now, he wants me to tell you all, he prophesied that this would be disclosed, but Babylon the Great is designed by Nimrod Marduk, son of Enki, grandson of Anu. And Nimrod Marduk, you can see the devilishness of this character sometimes in the eyes of Barack Obama, but he doesn't just use Barack Obama as a host. He can use others too, and his relations can do the same. How? Why can't you see them? Because, first of all, our pineal glands are not illuminated, which will happen as prophesied in the Avery crop circle. And I'll go over the timetable of that in just a second, and the purpose of it. But Nimrod Marduk is the son of perdition, Lucifer, Satan, and an extremely ingenious, smart, conniving predator. He designed this system that we're all functioning under, and they basically, the Anunnaki implant his genetics into the garden, and then he fuses with that essence to lead that essence to bring everything to a state of total collapse of Babylon the Great, which is just beginning to happen now. Now Jesus wants to explain why in the ancient prophecies he said that the son of perdition would be revealed, that would then set events in motion to speed up what could otherwise be drawn out longer and for more devastating results. He says that in the ancient prophecy he said he would reveal the son of perdition. Well, he's doing that here. The son of perdition is, his name is Nimrod Lucifer Marduk. He is otherwise known as the king of Babylon because he invented this Babylonian usury system that is now taking over the world. So, when he is revealed in this day of high technology where communication is everywhere, the last thing that a demon who uses his human host head, Barack Hussein Obama, as a puppet that leads everybody into a state of chaos that then serves the Anunnaki dragon harvest reap. Being revealed on the level that Jesus is now referring to will set things in motion, because there's nothing more damning and distracting and destructive to a demon than to have the light shown on their presence when they're using human puppets to serve demonic needs, and in this case Lucifer's needs, who now, by the way, is in charge of the largest nuclear weapons arsenal on the planet for reasons that serve his one of his creational purposes as a bringer of light. Now, Jesus says the reason that things will be quickened is because of this. When Barack Obama goes out into public and makes public speeches, it's very easy now in this day of technology to film him in the infrared spectrum. In the infrared spectrum, you will be able to see Nimrod, Marduk, Lucifer, Satan, king of Babylon, using him. If the light shines on Barack Obama in public settings now, you may not see him because he's not there, and then you will notice a difference in the demeanor of Barack Obama. Now, this also is an indication that once the host head of a demon principality is discovered, oftentimes that host head is done away with, and then another host head is used. So all sorts of events related to the prophecy that Jesus gave a long time ago will be set in motion by this understanding and the use of infrared spectrum photography and video cam capacity to shine the light on these demons. And it's not just Lucifer, Marduk. I mean, there are all kinds of Anunnaki shadow demons that are using major heads and political personalities to do the bidding of the Anunnaki. So you'll see now a whole shift in the Anunnaki's capacity to be able to use public forums to control the human slave race that they consider slave race. So happy hunting to all of you truth finders out there. Godspeed. Jesus wants to make another point, kind of explain how Nimrod, Marduk, also known as Lucifer and Satan, works and has over the eons. What he does is he takes the Christed image that is attractive to a positive angelic soul essence cast into the earth garden. It has extreme value. He takes the Christed image that soul essence is attracted to and twists it into a convoluted perspective aspect that basically feeds him and other demonic soul essences that reside in Anunnaki reptilian humanoid vessels. You see this, he did it. So Nimrod, Lucifer, Marduk basically is Jesus's antithesis or nemesis. He'll take what Jesus teaches and twist it to serve his needs. And the dumbed down and misguided flock have no idea what's going on. Nimrod, Lucifer, Marduk staged himself as Jesus to Paul on the road to Damascus to twist Jesus's truth into generating a religion that idolized a twisted form of Jesus' teaching in the name of shame and guilt. Now, another aspect of how this works is the Anunnaki using Enlil, another Anunnaki overlord, staging himself as Yahweh, who is truly a wrathful God, demigod really, gave a twisted version of God's universal laws to Moses as the Ten Commandments that looked holy on the surface, but you can see what they generate. In the end, it generates war and corruption everywhere. In the eye for an eye, justified retaliatory kind of law. So back to how Lucifer works. Those who think that it's ridiculous that Barack Hussein Obama says that they're all like little slaves that couldn't do anything without the government or the system that they live under. What's happening is that Nimrod Lucifer Marduk is fusing with Barack Hussein Obama, his host head, and declaring that his system is worthy of being idolatrized because it is a perverted aspect of the Father's natural conditions of law that generate balanced, harmonious equilibrium. So what you see when Obama declares that you wouldn't be doing anything like you're doing without the government, what you're hearing is Lucifer saying you wouldn't be able to generate all of this disharmonious disequilibrium without my system. So that is a twisted perversion that is normal to what Nimrod Marduk as Jesus' nemesis generates. You see it all over the place now. Anyway, he wanted to give that little perspective because those commentators who are judging Obama for saying that don't realize that's Lucifer talking to them. So, and with that awareness, you can understand a little bit of how the principalities work in the earth play that's going on now. Just like I'm being influenced and guided to be able to understand and tell you all of this. So, everyone should realize that this is a principality issue, and if we don't deal with that issue on an angelic demonic level and now ask for angelic assistance in prayer to God to allow such, this is going to hell in a handbasket even faster and more severely than it would otherwise. So here's our saving grace, he said. Listen to the songs and read his book on the website. You've got to understand how all this works, because somehow we're going to be asked as a community on the planet in prayer to for angelic assistance in this matter, because the demonic realm will use and tear this garden apart without mercy, serving their needs otherwise. The timetable set forth in the Avery complex shows a snapshot where the sun and the nemesis sun arc to generate a cosmic orgasmic pulse, like a flash bulb going off. That is like a cosmic lightning bolt that allows bleed through of God energy or ultraviolet neutron energy that turns on the kundalini and pineal gland. This is the state, in an illumined state, that the Anunnaki best are rejuvenated by, using them in certain ways that are discussed in the book, to extend their life. They also extend their life through the consumption of irradiated precious metals that are used in warfare between certain sects that each governed by one of the Anunnaki overlords vying for rulership position on home planetary complex Nibiru. It's a lot said there, but that's what's going on. And so the son of perdition, Lucifer, Nimrod Marduk, inventor of Babylon the Great, is going to reside over the use of nuclear weapons to fulfill his destiny as the bringer of light. That's one aspect of this timetable. When is that going to happen? The Anunnaki harvest angelic beings in the earth garden who are seduced by the trappings of their system, Babylon the Great. In ancient depictions, you'll see the Anunnaki holding a bucket in one hand and raising a pine cone up to the top branches of the tree of life. That represents they are harvesting angels who are illuminated pineally. So, their harvest will not happen until that event occurs, their primary harvest. You sit down, please. And that event is given in the apiary snapshot. You see the Earth going into the galactic needle, which is the concentrated, focused emissions of ultraviolet neutron energy from the central galactic starburst at the end, right at the end of the Mayan calendar. That's why the Mayan calendar was given. As the Earth goes into the galactic needle, that it reaches a point of saturation and ignites a neutron lightning bolt pulse in interaction with the Nemesis star. So when that happens, at the same time, Nemesis Nibiru complex is coming through the asteroid belt and everything goes haywire. That mini star system pulls asteroid particles everywhere, and it also has particles in its comet-like tail. It just slings everywhere. So make sure that you have cover to be able to keep from getting pelted by these particles. He wants me to tell you that all of this is governed by universal law, the Father Creator. He allows the Anunnaki to harvest and to play their role in the negative principality cosmic play. But, he says, anyone who wants to be led to safety and out of the way of this harvest need to follow the directions in the books and the music. And it all has to do with prayer, repentance, giving full allegiance to be governed by the Father Creator and universal Christed law. And then hang on to your hats, because you'll probably end up casting off everything except what you need to make it through this and to the other end, which is going to be a glorious time, because the Anunnaki are going to be kicked out of the garden then. The magic of getting out and being led to safety is all about connecting with the angels, and that has to do with getting in a selfless state. In that state, they can hear you and they can lead you, but you have to be willing to give up anything that is like a burden that can keep you from ascending with the earth up into the higher planes of hyperdimensional existence. Some in the yes, Jesus is what you might call the chairman or the head of the Galactic Federation. The Galactic Federation is made up, and they're also called Zodiac Ring Lords. Each one is specifically generated, genetically created by Zeus to represent one of the 12 primary constellations in this starburst galaxy. And they are already implanted in the garden, those 12. They were back in the day of Jacob Israel also, to basically spread their seed throughout the garden. And they are in the garden along, to help direct their children and their offspring to safety. That's a whole nother story, but that basically is what's happening now. Anyone in a selfless state who calls upon Jesus' name and or Archangel Michael can be directly connected with those angels to be led to safety, or to answer questions that need to be answered. The way I connect is described in the book. It basically is bringing myself to an intense orgasm, and the orgasm is generated through the arcing of my 2 arc batteries that causes a mini arcing pulse, just like it's going to happen with our 2 suns. I mean, that our sun and the Nemesis sun, and it causes a bleed through and causes the irradiation, neutron irradiation of the orgasmic particles that then I consume in a certain way, and this is all in the book, and I've been taught this by Hermes though. And then that turns on my interdimensional communication halo. And the symptoms of having that truly happen are described in the book. You can find it on the website. This is a summary of what's getting ready to happen, though, in the timetable. So if you know that all Earth events, including the wars and the use of nuclear weapons and everything, is going to build corresponding to the upheaval caused with the entrance of the Nemesis complex. So you'll see all of it kind of working together, and it all comes to a climax, a negative climax at once. So so the Anunnaki are very shrewd. They use the upheaval caused by all the distress everywhere and related cosmic events that have influenced the garden as a smokescreen to allow their harvest reap, involving irradiated precious metals and other precious metals and humans in an illumined state. This is all referred to and summarized in Jesus' book on Revelations Revealed. But this is basically a warning. Everything works together. You know, as you see more and more earthquakes, volcanic activity, it's a sign of the cosmic storm brewing between the two suns, and then as that intensifies, there'll be an intensification of world events leading to the use of nuclear weapons, and you can only guess the ramifications of that. So, get prepared and get out of these major and even minor cities that are served by Babylon the Great, that is, usury banks. Anywhere where there's a complex of usury banks that serve a certain city's development is fair game for the Anunnaki harvest. So get out of those areas, and no matter what they do trying to keep everybody in those cities, if you're smart, you should follow Michael's direction and drop everything you have, flee the Joneses, and get the heck out of there, because this is all going to reach a climax, and it'll last for 5 months. You get that? This will last for 5 months. So when it happens, which will be the beginning of it, will be marked by the first nuclear explosion. From there, you can count 5 months, and then events will happen to kick the Anunnaki out of the garden. At the same time, you know, when that pulse happens, you'll be in an illuminated state, and many will be in a selfless state, will be able to see the Anunnaki that have been shadowed before. And when you see one of these beings, call Jesus and or Michael immediately, and that being will flee really fast. So that's another way you can keep them away from you. They're already infested in the garden. They're already using humans all over the place to be able to use their sexual orgasmic pulse to feed them. And it's the way they feed, you know, in terms of eating is disgusting, so I don't even want to deal with that now. So you can find out those secrets in the books, and there's plenty of information on websites about satanic ritualistic sacrifice. Anyway, when that alarm bell rings, that first nuclear explosion, the game's on. So you better have everything together, and the timetable is given, because it's not going to happen until after the illumination spark happens. So good luck to you all, and through prayer and repentance and giving allegiance to be governed by the Father Creator, governed by universal law, will help you do what you need so that you can be one of the souls that makes it into the age of Aquarius. Good luck. Godspeed. Billy, come here, honey. Come here. You want to say hi? Okay. This might be our, I don't know if this is going to be our last one. Probably not, but this is our summer. Come on up here. Okay. Oh, you've been waiting so patiently. Yes, you have.
Souls from the ether
Got you after I get through with this.
who struggle with their parts, cast to teach us all.
Say goodbye. Say goodbye.
God's Christ is Lord, resides as you and me and they. There is no one who God loves more. I told you long ago there would be false God staging selves as selfless angels. Their twisted truths have fooled my flock, and now it's time to wake from your part played. Yes, the demon staging selves as saving graceful scars.